Many of the old security risks that we're already familiar with, independently of where the application is hosted, still apply. So think about all these various different risks that we see in software. Things like typical web app security risks, SQL injection, cross-site scripting. They really don't change just by moving into a cloud-based environment. You still need to deal with the problems of insufficient access controls or people using weak credentials. Co-tenanted elastic computing running on someone else's cloud doesn't change any of that. Your applications are still going to use frameworks which may have vulnerabilities that may be exploited and lead to data leakage or data breaches. And of course, those could come via unpatched software as well. And even if you get all that right, there's still the risk of denial of service and attackers simply bombarding your application with malicious packets such that it can't serve legitimate requests. All of this stuff has been a problem for years, and none of it changes just by putting apps in the cloud. I wanted to start here simply because it's a point of familiarity. If you've been working in information systems before, you'll be familiar with much of this, and it still applies regardless of whose cloud you put it in. Now later on in the course, we'll talk about some of the things that cloud can do to help mitigate these risks. And indeed, there are some options which were not quite as easily accessible in the traditional model. But certainly, these are very familiar risks that will follow software into the cloud environment. Let's move on now and talk about something that you do need to give quite a bit of thought about when you move into the cloud, and that's data sovereignty.